Hello everyone, welcome back to Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. We are moving on to Ciel's story. For that, I think we just want to go, we'll go new game, right? Because it's going to count as dialogue we've seen before, right? Right? Actually, just in case it's not, let's load, but we're going to go load all the way back at the start. And the way it's going to work is we're going to go flowchart all the way back, because we've technically seen every scene now, minus ones that are way too early and ones that are, before that. Okay, maybe not all the way back. We won't go to the prologue. We will go to Homecoming 1 here. So let us check out some of these alternate choices from the beginning and try to make our way towards Ciel's campaign, because we have some ideas here now, right? So let's not be a creep towards her. I mean, even though she probably would like that. Let's add her into the story earlier, which is still a weird choice. But I think it's a good choice. It's weird to put her in earlier and then remove her, right? Anyways, let's start with can't think of something to say. Unfortunately, I can't think of a single thing to say. Ciel waits patiently as I fumble for words, the smile on her face never faltering. You a train person?
そうですね。用事によっては利用します。遠野くんは？お家は遠いんですか？
遠いですよ。始発駅からなので。でもそれもおしまいです。電車通学は今日で最後。
おや、お家がお引っ越したか。
Man, like what seems like a nice average conversation, he's literally leaking his info. Unable to come up with a decent explanation, I mumble something non-committal. I shift my gaze to the window and stare at the buildings streaming by. Ciel seems to sense that it's a sensitive subject, and I didn't save, did I? Frick. And doesn't ask anything more. Our conversation continues with a faint sense of awkwardness for the next 15 minutes. Before long, the train reaches our destination, Soya Station. So that should now be back to normal speed? Pretty sure. I think it is. Nope. Just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early this morning, so town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet around the station right now, but in about an hour it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters.
それでは私はここで。話し相手になってくれてありがとうございました。学校で見かけたら遠慮なく声をかけてくださいね。
Oh, trust me. Now we will. Ciel runs off with a smile and a wave. Seeing her dash almost makes me want to do the same. Her energy is infectious, but in the end I have no reason to hurry. Probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. Make my way to school at my usual pace. Okay, now we're good. Okay, so now we gotta head back. Get that other choice. Because I was stupid and I didn't save, but it's fine. We will commit to this one. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't, right? Pretty sure I didn't. Let's see. I didn't. I will remember to do that this time. Alright, so... here she comes once again. Third time's a charm. Because the first time was very little charm, all things considered. Let's talk to her. A question pops into my mind. Why is she on the train so early?
でもどうしたんですか？先輩、部活やってませんよね。
いえ、何を隠そうボランティア活動の帰りなんです。ほら、生徒会公募で公園のゴミ拾いがあったでしょ。
I think we heard this
あれを
once.
ちゃちゃっと先ほどまで。
Did we hear this after staring at her legs? Now it all makes sense. Ciel's always running around helping out somebody or another.
早朝から30分だけの奉仕活動だったんですけどね。他の皆さんは一旦帰宅したんですが、私は面倒なのでこのまま登校してしまおうかと。
What's the over-under on her absolutely lying about this, too? Her bag clatters. I'd assumed it was full of equipment, but it must be cleaning stuff.
おや、中身見たいんですか？先輩の持ち物をチェックするなんておとなしそうに見えて大胆ですね。
She is immediately out with the flirting. I mean, it's absolutely for a purpose, but she draws closer and looks into my eyes. Her face is so close to mine that I can smell her. Flustered, I can't figure out where to look.
いえ、そういうわけじゃなくてですね。もし折りたたみ式のほうきとか熊手とかなら
Oh my
珍
god,
しいな
dude.
と。
You're like, wow, what if you have a collapsible broom? That'd be crazy. You don't see those very often. What a negative riz on that.
ほうほう、私の万能高枝切りばさみも見たいと。よろしい。それでしたら放課後、いつも
Oh,
の茶道部に来てください。
that
あ
sounds
なたな
like
ら
an
大歓迎
invite.
です。
An invite we're gonna be taking. Faced with such a heartfelt smile, I end up blushing. I'd like to say something clever or witty, but all I can manage is a simple yes.
約束ですよ。ここだけの話、部費で購入したお茶受けが余ってしまいまして、日持ちするものではないので、元気な男の子の協力が不可欠なんです。
My favorite. Moldy treats.
そうですか。
Or
じゃあ予定が合え
almost
ばぜひ。
moldy.
食べ物に釣られていくとか猫かって話ですけど。
Ciel's warm smile makes me feel comfortable enough to crack a joke. She adjusts the green ribbon around her neck.
どちらかというと、ワンちゃんではないでしょうか。
True.
というか、猫科はよくありません。
I dislike cats. I wonder why.
律儀で頭のいい犬科です。
For reasons I don't quite understand, she seems to feel strongly about this. As we're both heading to the same place, we continue to chat. We talk about last week's midterms. We wonder why the sports festival has been reduced to a one-day event. We complain about the cafeteria always serving the same things. After getting into a heated discussion about the plan to restrict phones at school, God, what a good plan that would be. Oh my god. Hey, that's now legal here and it's the best. We tire each other out, sigh in unison, and change the subject. We laugh as we trade opinions on the movies we've seen recently. 15 minutes go by in a flash. It's easy talking with her. She is, after all, incredibly popular among everyone. I don't want this to end, but we only have a few minutes left before we get to Soya Station. I try to bring up something else to talk about, but...
ちょっとうるさいんですけど。
Right, you're... Okay. Is she keeping a watch on him? I feel like she's almost keeping a watch on him. We've forgotten where we are. Ciel and I bow our heads in apology. You're more interesting every time you appear
取
now.
られちゃいましたね。
Because now that we know that there's something up with you.
ごめんなさい。私の笑い声が大きかったんです。きっと。
Yes, this is pretty similar to what happened after we ogled her legs. With that, our conversation comes to a halt. The friendly cheer that filled the air just moments ago has vanished. It's quickly replaced by that familiar city silence, that cold space in which everyone is a stranger. I don't know, I find the city warmer than the country. Country warmth is a myth. Everyone in the country wants to hate you because you're different. In the city, no one cares. The train pulls into Soya Station just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early today, so the town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet right now, but in about an hour it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters.
今朝も交通量が少なめですね。最近街の目覚めが遅い気がします。皆さん夜更かしなんでしょうかね。
That's what I've been doing, recording these videos. As Ciel shares this odd observation, I notice how heavy her bag
あの
looks.
荷物学校まで持っていきましょうか。
ああ、いえいえ、お気になさらず。私は寄っていくところがありますので、ここでお別れですね。
So that's clearly got, like, her weapon in it, right? Probably. Her weapons, even, I bet. I bet you that's what it is. And that's her taking them to her apartment there. She smiles a goodbye and waves as she runs off. Her lithe legs carry her so swiftly, I almost expect a comical whoosh. Not to be outdone, I feel an urge to start running too, but there's really no reason for me to hurry. I probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. I start walking towards school at my usual pace. But just as I set off... What are you doing? The girl from before emerges from the ticket gates. She passes by briskly, slowing only to share a few choice words.
見かけ通り軽薄なんですね。うんざりしました。
You are absolutely observing him. And for what? And with that, she stalks away. I'm struck dumb by the rudeness. Seems I've made an enemy. I should be careful the next time I have a conversation on a train. Guess I said something that upset her. Even so...
最近の中学生はおっかないな。
It's a weird thing to say, buddy. It was a regular hit-and-run scolding. And speaking of hit and run, here we go. Swoosh indeed. We're really going fast. Hey, look at all that. There's Arihiko. He's here. He's emoting, and we're learning about him. We're learning about the murders. We see the Satsuki. Remember her? She disappears from the plot real fast, huh? Alright, so what we did last time was we did... Interesting, there's 2 hallway scenes. I wonder what the difference is between them. Wonder what determines which one we get. I'm gonna try hallway for now again and see if this is a different one. It's the same. Right? We're on the same one? We are. How do you get that other hallway one? I wonder. Maybe that's a post-game unlock or something. Anyways, let's start with, let's go with Arihiko, and then we'll stay in the classroom. Because I feel like that one might be interesting. Arihiko disappeared after 4th period. He must be saving seats in the cafeteria. I never promised Arihiko I'd go to the cafeteria with him, but there's no real reason to ditch him either. I might as well spend lunch there today. Get a bit more info about the cafeteria looks almost full. The line is so long it would probably take 10 minutes just to get your order taken. I gaze at the students waiting with their order receipts in hand as I make my way to the table.
それでアリヒコ、特別ゲストって誰？
それがまだおいでになさらぬ。食堂で待ち合わせだったんだが、ちょっと待っててくれ。様子を見てくる。
Arihiko hurries out of the cafeteria, leaving his curry udon behind. I've ordered chikara udon for myself. Hope he gets back before my noodles get soggy.
ダメだ。先輩どっか行っちまったらしい。
ゲストって3年生だったのか？
おお、面白い先輩だな。ここ数日アタックしてようやくランチご一緒ツアーまで取り付けたんだよ。今日は他に約束ができたとかで学校中は走り回ってるらしい。
忙しい人みたいだね。どうも。
Wow, man is not putting 2 and 2 together, huh?
忙しいっていうか、全自動マッサージ機みたいな人だ。
Arihiko breaks apart his disposable chopsticks, looking dejected.
今回は仕方ねえわな。じゃ、いただきますと。
はい、いただきます。
We both dig into our udon. A lot of irons in the fire. What a strange way to describe someone. I was wondering about that. Suffice to say that my curiosity has been piqued. But I'll ask him more about that later.
ね、本当のところどうなんだよ。
だって何が？
今日お前が朝から教室にいた理由、いちこさんが家にいるって嘘だろ。あの人、今昼間の仕事についてるじゃんか。
I ask Arihiko as I slurp my chikara udon. Ichiko is Arihiko's older sister, who is super cool, who works full-time. She's a bit of a mystery, but she's always taking good care of us.
バレるか。まあそのなんだ。殿、今日から実家に戻るのか？
そうだけど、その話したっけ？
してねえよ。俺は姉貴から聞いただけ。
Dang, she's in the know.
それでだな。殿がブルー入ってないかちょっと確認したいな。
Ah, he's a good
そう
guy.
か。それで成果は？
早起きするほど面白い見せ物じゃなかったぜ。がっかりですよ、がっかり。
ご期待に添えず申し訳ない。ほんと、有彦は暇人だな。
He comes early and then is just like, all right, you're good? Okay, I'm out of here till lunch.
暇人だからゴシップ好きなんですよ。殿さ、小学生の自分からよそに預けられてたんだろ。どんな理由かは知らないが、それから7年も経つんだ。なんで今になって感動してた息子を呼び戻すんだよ、お前さんの父親は。
感動されていたわけじゃない。なんとなく屋敷から出るように言われただけだ。
We also have to like remember that we have to reset our knowledge continues, but shaky knowledge is reset. It's a bit second routes in visual novels almost hit you with the dramatic irony.
遠野君君ね、なんとなくで子供を家から追い出す過程があったら、それは悲劇じゃなくて笑い話ですよ。ただし、ほら一歩手前、寒すぎて笑えねえけどな。
Arihiko laughs in an exaggerated manner. The way Arihiko never takes anything seriously is one of his best qualities. The truth is, my father and I have been on bad terms long before the car accident and hospitalization. The Tono family is a distinguished household dating back centuries, with customs very different to those of a regular family. My childhood memories are of an enormous house and the oppressive, antiquated customs of the family within. Practices, even. The Tono family is wealthy, with shares in a wide variety of companies. My father, Makihisa Tono, wasn't much of a businessman, but the assets he inherited from my grandfather was more than enough to help his businesses make a fortune. A mansion from another era, a high-class lifestyle that valued history and decorum. Any child would have found life in that mansion unbearably dull. So when I was told to go live with the Arimas, I had no qualms about leaving my real family behind. I think it was the best outcome I could have asked for. I got along well with the Arimas. Keiko and Fumiomi treated me no differently than if I had been their child by birth. I'd always wanted to be part of a normal family, and living with the Arimas gave me that opportunity. I don't have any regrets there. With one exception, my sister, Akiha. She was a year younger than me, and I left her behind at the Tono Manor. I wonder if Akiha resents me. I mean, why wouldn't she? I left her in that giant lonesome house with no one for company but that pig-headed old man. It's not hard to imagine what Akiha thinks of me, of the brother who ran away from it all. If only you knew, buddy, if only you knew.
そうだな。確かに。なんとなくで家から追い出されたら、そりゃ笑うしかない。
だろ？おまけに二度と敷居はまたぐなっていう決め台詞付きだ。世間様ではそういうのを感動って言うんだ。今まで聞かなかったけどな。お前、なんで感動されたんだ？
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for it myself. I think in the end it may have just been a lot of unfortunate coincidences. I was unlucky.
ま、話したくないならいい。
He is so, again, like, smart when it comes to street smarts about reading people. He's a big dummy and someone who doesn't take life seriously, but he is very emotionally intelligent. And that makes Arihiko a really great friend character. Arihiko picks up his bowl with both hands and drinks down the broth. Always do that. And slurp that stuff. That's the good stuff. Lunch always feels so short. I follow Arihiko's example and quickly down the rest of my food. The broth, when you sip it, that's some good stuff, man. Anyways, let us stay in the classroom. Cause are we gonna see someone else? Guess I'll stay in the classroom. I can't work up the energy to move. I know the value of a full stomach, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hungry, but I just don't have the appetite for anything right now. I vaguely remember Arihiko mentioning something earlier, but I'll worry about that later. Right now, all I want to do is sit in my chair and save my energy. There we go. I hear a familiar voice close by. I look behind me to see who the voice belongs to.
君
Hey,
と食堂に行ってなかったんだね。
no.
危うく探しに行くところだった。
ちょっと食欲なくて。それより何かあった、弓塚さん。俺に声をかけるなんてもしかしなくても一大事。
Every day, I praise Albert that it's Yumizuka and not Yumiduka. Yumizuka may be a classmate of mine, but we're not exactly what I'd call friends. We sometimes banter when Arihiko's around, like this morning, but almost never one-on-one. The only explanation is that she has something urgent that she needs my help with.
まあそう思うよね。これまでがこれまでだし。
Yumizuka looks to the side awkwardly. But only for a moment. Then she quickly returns to her usual cheery self.
幅野先生が探してたよ。お家のことで話があるって言ってたけど。
Yeah, that's probably something you need to discuss with the school, huh?
うちのことって引っ越しについてかな。
Mr. Habano is in charge of all the second years. It's probably because Miss Toyama isn't around to sort things around for
あり
me.
がとう。すぐに行くよ。けどおかしいな。住所移転の手続きは
Yeah.
もう済ませたんだけど。
That is a bit weird. I forced my tired body to stand up. Yumizuka continues to stand there, looking at me.
他にも連絡があったりする。
他にはもう本当何にもなくてですね。
I am so excited for your route. I wonder if she isn't feeling well. Satsuki Yumizuka is one of the pillars of our class. She's bright, easy to get along with, and a hard worker. Anyone could see how much she cares about the people around her. A lot of the guys love her, and I don't think any of the girls talk bad about her. It's only natural that she's always surrounded by people. She's the opposite of a killjoy like me. Even though we're in the same class this year, we've barely talked. I didn't even think she remembered my name, to be honest.
遠野くん、
Perception versus reality there was so good.
いいよ。何？
込み入ったことならごめんね。今引っ越しって言ったけど、遠野くんどこかに引っ越しちゃうの？もしかして転校とか？
It makes sense that she'd asked, though she seems to have misunderstood
いや、
things.
住所が変わっただけ。引っ越し先もそうやだしね。そう大きな変化はないよ。夜行を気に入ってるし、転校とかないない。
そうだよね。うち入試厳しかったし、試験勉強すっごく頑張りました。
Huh. I never really took this for a school that's difficult to get into. I just always took it as a general, area high school that was a default for people. Who knew? I'd assumed that Yumizuka could have gone to any school she wanted with her brains.
で
Huh.
も遠野くんお家が変わるっていうことは、もしかして有馬さんのお家から出ることになったの？
そうだよ。名残惜しいけど、いつまでもお世話になってるわけにもいかないし。
Shocked you knew that. Wait a second. I don't think I've told anyone at school about staying with the Arima family other than Arihiko.
ごめん。俺、弓塚さんに話したことはあったっけ？
もちろん遠野くんから聞いた話だもん。これずいぶん前の話だけどね。
Okay, wait, hold up. Hold up. Are we gonna be playing up for like love-struck stalker stuff? Wait, hold up.
それは。
Wait, this might be great. I must have really been struggling for something to talk about. I can't remember the conversation, but if we were talking alone like this, it's possible I was desperate for a topic and let it slip.
それじゃ俺はこれで。幅野先生は職員室。
10分までに来ないと減点だって。いつも思うけど一体何を減点するんだろうね。
Yeah, as a teacher, they can't really do that. Because like most programs and stuff, there's no way to just dock marks. Like you have to manually decide which one you're gonna lower the mark on. Yumizuka giggles without a hint of sarcasm or scorn. I can't help but laugh alongside her. Mr. Habano is notorious for threatening to dock grades, but I doubt he'd actually do that to someone just for being late.
ところでお昼はどうするの？
Talking to Mr. Habano, I think?
職員室に行くついでに食堂に寄ってくよ。有彦がいるだろうし。
そっか。じゃあまたね、遠野くん。
Yumizuka waves awkwardly and goes back to her group of girlfriends. I head over to the cafeteria after getting a grilling by Mr. Habano about my relation to the Tono family. What? That's weird. Why would he scream at us for that? It's what? Is he just like, oh, the Tono family is taking up all the land and getting rid of our gerbs? And we're just like, I live there. I'm sorry. That's my last name. It's as busy as it always was in the cafeteria today. It may not be full, but most tables are packed with students. Almost a third of the student body uses this facility, while other students who want to save a few bucks use the school store. I gaze at the students waiting with their order receipts in hand as I make my way to the table. And now we're at the same stuff, alright. I don't know how we're gonna get that fourth scene there. Maybe it's either post-route, or it's if we avoided Ciel in the morning, and then later on, you know, that's where we meet her. Okay, so which did we... So now, right, this all leads here. There's like 2 different scenes here, but they go differently. So we skipped right to the school last time. These are going to be both new scenes, maybe. Wander around school. Honestly, I'm still not quite ready to go back. I don't really have anything to do, but maybe wandering around the school will help ease my nerves. Come to think of it, I made plans with someone this morning.
そうだった。
Okay. So it must... You know what it probably is? I bet you it's avoid Ciel. We get that one, and then she'll tell us to come to the room there, right? I bet you. You know what? That's fine. I'm sure I'll just maybe give it a try then after. It's no big deal. Anyways.
電車の中で茶道部に顔を出すって話をしたんだっけ?
It must be fate that I remembered that at this exact moment. That or she really, really tries to get you there. I've still got time before the school locks up. I might as well check out the tea ceremony room. The first of many visits. Tea Ceremony Club's room is hidden at the end of the student club's annex. It took me about 10 minutes to find this place, far longer than I expected. It didn't help that nobody knew anything about a tea ceremony club. I ended up going to the faculty room myself and looking up on the floor plan, and now I'm here.
すみません。先輩、いますか?
I knock on the sliding door as I call out. A moment later.
おや、誰かと思えば遠野くん。
A face I know all too well emerges.
もしかして遊びに来てくれたんですか？いえ、これは遊びに来てくれたと見ました。さ、そういうことなら中にどうぞ。ちょうど遠野くんと話したかったところです。
She is... It feels like...
それじゃあ遠慮なくお邪魔します。
It feels they cranked up her friendliness. I don't remember her being this friendly. I'm a little taken aback by Ciel's eagerness, but I did come here just to see her. I step into the tea ceremony room. Ooh, what's this instrument? I love it. The room is far more authentic than I thought it would be. It's actually a full-on Japanese-style room.
驚いた。うちの学校にこんな教室があったなんて知らなかった。完全に趣味の部屋じゃないか。
私もそう思います。形式上は部活動のためということになってましたが、校長先生の趣味でしょうね。
I mean, when you got that extra funding, you gotta use it.
もっとも、私が入るまでは使われていなかったようですが。
She walks onto the mats ahead of me. With a clatter of porcelain, she begins preparing the tea.
先輩が来るまで使われていなかった。
そうなんです。 もったいないことに茶道部は部員数ゼロの架空部活に甘んじていたのです。お菓子は心の安定剤、和菓子の良さを伝える道が廃れているなんて街から笑顔が消えるようなもの、いえ、雨の日に捨てられた子犬を見捨てるようなもの。
The Japanese sweets you get with tea ceremonies are like basically like sugar prepared in the way they were like hundreds of years ago, and yet they really do hit a vibe that is so unique to it.
ですので先生方にお願いして茶道部を再開させていただいたんです。部員はまだ私一人なので5人揃うまでの仮運転ではありますけど。
Cool. So it's never actually starting to run, huh?
そうなんだ。先輩好きなんだ、お菓子。
I think most girls do, but I'm pretty sure there's more to the tea ceremony than that, but that's not my business.
はい、本命は洋菓子ですが丁寧に作られたお菓子に寄せはありませんから。ともあれ茶道部の主将として地道に勧誘活動を続けているんです。そのおかげで放課後とか休み時間とかこんな風に自由に部室を使わせてもらっているんですよ。遠野くんも何かありましたらぜひ。私放課後は大抵ここにいますから。
And we will.
そうなんですか。
It's as if she's using the clubroom as her own private space, like a secret hideout. I mean, I absolutely did that in high school. Me and my friends made the tech club, where it was literally like we had a room dedicated to ourselves for if any students had any tech issues, if teachers needed help with like fixing their computers or something, if anything needed to be set up for like a school celebration or something, we would be in there and we'd, be ready for that. We were the only club, like aside from like the student council, and we were almost like the shadow council. We were really making the decisions. It was the best. High school was so fun. I know some people don't like high school, but high school to me was such a fun time in my life. Well, I'm flattered by Ciel's invitation. I wonder how this will help with the revival of the tea ceremony club.
けど遠野くんも物好きなんですね。確かにお誘いはしましたけど、あれだけでここまで足を運んでくれるなんて。もしや顔に似合わず肉食系ですか？
Her teasing causes the back of my neck to grow hot. I wasn't trying to hit on her, I just figured I'd stop by, but as I formed my reply, I realized I'm making excuses.
いや、本当に特に理由はなかったんですけど。
Look at the vignetting going on. But she does have a good point. I'm not usually the sort of person to take someone up on this kind of invitation. Come to think of it, why did I come here?
と、これは失礼。強くかけすぎちゃいましたか。
She murmurs to herself and claps her hands. Oh, she totally used a spell on us. I squint against the red afternoon sun pouring through the windows. While I was busy admiring the room's decor, Ciel took some floor cushions out of the closet and laid them onto the tatami mats. Cute! It looks like we're gonna have an actual tea ceremony. That's cute art.
あのさ先輩、俺こういう作法苦手なんですけど。
そこは問題なく。私だって流した手前ぐらいしか知りませんよ。遠野くんはどうぞ自由に楽にしてください。
On the table are a teapot and teacups, as well as some snacks to go with the tea. The snacks are nothing fancy, pre-packaged mini cakes and rice crackers that can be found at any convenience store. I guess this really is just a place to drink tea and chat.
気軽におしゃべりするだけなんですから、堅苦しいのはなしにしましょう。そういうのは楽しくありませんからね。正座とかしないで足を崩しちゃってもいいですよ。
She smiles softly as she pours 2 cups of tea.
はあ、真面目なんだかおおらかなんだかよくわからない人ですね、先輩は。
I take the cup of tea and bring it to my mouth. I had no part in it, but the Arimas ran a tea ceremony school. growing up in their household, I've become quite accustomed to spending time drinking tea in a room like this. I drink slowly, savoring my time here as much as the tea. And then I notice it. Ciel is staring at me with an uneasy look on her face.
どうしたんですか、先輩。浮かない顔してますけど。
ああ、なんだか遠野くんの方が落ち着いてるなってちょっと驚いてました。
I can chill anywhere. Except in the recesses of my own brain.
いや、うちはもともと厳しい家だったから、こういうのに慣れているだけです。それより先輩、話がしたかったって何ですか？
はい、朝のお礼をまだしていなかったので、電車で迷惑をかけてしまったでしょ。だからそのお詫びとして、こうしてお世話をしてあげたいなって思ってたんです。
Ciel, I know you're trying to put it on with us to for us to open up to you and stuff. You really gotta watch the phrasing. Ciel smiles, not seeming to realize what she's said.
お世話って、なんか日本語の使い方間違ってるよ、先輩。
あれ？そうですか？礼を尽くしておもてなしをすることをお世話をする。
言わない。間違いではないと思うけど、ちょっと正しくないというか。
I really like this sprite, the hidden mouth. There's a lot to it.
そうでしたか。ごめんなさい。にわか知識でおかしなことを言ってしまって。やっぱり心の伴わない作法はいけませんね。
Her shoulders slump dejectedly. Now I feel bad for making her feel bad.
心伴っていましたよ。正直に言うと嬉しかったです。作法はまず心からとも言うし、もてなす側の気持ちが本物なら、些細な間違いなんて笑い飛ばせる話だと思います。
I can't help but try to cheer her up. Ciel looks me right in the eyes. She's so focused on me that I feel like I'm some kind of rare specimen at the zoo.
先輩？
Maybe I'm just not used to it, but being stared at like this is incredibly awkward.
遠野くん、やっぱり似合いすぎてます。私より年下なのに落ち着いていて生意気です。
Ciel glares at me. For the second time, I found myself confused about why she acts the way she does.
すみません。なんだか偉そうな言い分でしたね。
はい、あんまりに生意気なんで不覚にも感動しちゃいました。年下の男の子にしてやられるのってなんだか気恥ずかしいですね。
Boy, if that isn't the understatement of the century. Despite her words, Ciel smiles bashfully. This means she's not angry, right?
私、がぜん遠野くんのことが知りたくなっちゃいました。何でもいいですから話してくれると嬉しいです。
いいですけど、俺の話なんかしてもつまらないですよ。
She replies with a smile, letting me know that she doesn't mind. I guess I have no choice. I don't know if this will satisfy her curiosity, but maybe I can talk about her things that happened at school. Ciel's like, wow. Those topics sucked, Tono. It's like, okay, well. Guess we'll try better next time. I ended up talking for about an hour. It was fun, and Ciel was attentive the whole time. Still, it's not something I'm used to. I suddenly feel very tired. Her favorite parts seemed to be my story about the class trip in middle school. Apparently she didn't get one, as she caught the flu the day before and had to miss it.
中学2年生ということは14歳の頃の遠野くんですか。その頃の遠野くんも見てみたかったです。
Those words paired with that smile would make just about anyone turn red. I could keep talking to Ciel forever, but the sun is beginning to set. As much as I want to stay, I eventually have to excuse myself and leave the tea ceremony room. And we're back to... Let's see. Wait, is this fast? It is. Okay. Right? Because yeah, now we're here. There is different routes here. How do we get to these? What the frick? There was no choice even there. Continue this morning's conversation. Would we've gotten a different one if we ogled her? Maybe? I don't know. This feels way more complicated suddenly. Like, it feels like Arcueids are pretty straightforward, but now I'm like, what the frick? How do you get to those, right? Huh. Okay, well. Let's, continue on then. Skip the scenes we've seen. Okay, wait. So this time, last time we did someone else. Let's start with, we'll do the other two here, right? We'll start off with, let's do Akiha, and then let's do Makihisa. My sister, Akiha. Akiha visited me a number of times when I first moved in with the Arimas. I wasn't able to see her because of my daily hospital visits, and once she started staying in the dorms at a girls' academy, we only ever exchanged a few letters. Okay, so they were in communication. Okay. Unlike Akiha, I had been expelled from the family. That's why I was able to live as freely as I have. After 7 years, my sister and I must have very little in common. Honestly, I don't really have any desire to go back to the Tono mansion. Except, Akiha is there. When we were children, Akiha was a quiet girl who always looked meek and timid. She'd follow me around wherever I went. With her long black hair and fine dresses, she looked like a princess out of a fairy tale, locked in some tower and awaiting rescue. I know I have no right to just slip back into being her big brother now, but I've worried about Akiha these 7 years. She was the first thing I thought of when I learned of Makihisa's death. All alone in that massive house after her father's death. More than anything, I felt responsible because my carefree lifestyle had forced the burden of the Tono family onto her. I think the reason I agreed to return to the manor was to make amends for leaving Akiha behind. Okay, so that was that one. But what about your papa? Oh, wait. Wait, what? Why was that fast forwarding? What? Oh, we might not have done the full one. Memories of my father spring to mind. Though I don't recall us doing anything together, Makis was a strict father. He was quiet, rarely showing emotion. Do not leave the house, do not go into town. Always remember that people are born with their status, and those without our noble blood are inferior stock, such as the ethos of Makis and the Tono family at large. I rebelled against their principles. Felt my father's teachings were wrong. It wasn't from any fault in his logic, though. He just couldn't convince me that his beliefs were right. It seems strange, but they felt behind the times, even as a child. I wasn't the only one who disagreed with Makisa, but I was the only one who did it to his face. As a result, I often left the manor in contempt of his rules, which ultimately led to my accident. Well, okay, so we've seen this, apparently. Because it's fast. Yeah. Okay. That was apparently a scene we'd seen before. Okay. Huh. Anyways, we'll finish up the day for sure, and then I might go back and just try and experiment around with some of those choice trees, if you will. Okay. So let's see, what's this choice? So the one we did was we explored the mansion, or we did the third one. So let's check here. So, get the urge to explore. Let's start with call out and ask her name. I decided to call out to her and ask her name. I can't just be calling her Miss Housekeeper the whole time.
すみません。名前を聞いていいですか？来たばかりで、今のうちの事情がよくつかめなくて。
I call out to her. The kimono-clad girl looks at me, surprised.
琥珀と申します。このお屋敷で 遠野家のご当主様に仕えさせていただいております。
The girl, Kohaku, gives a slight bow and a smile. It's a lovely kind of gesture, somehow evocative of a bud blooming into a flower, and then sprouting arms that hit you 8 times for doing one big punch. That's really, really good at lockdown. The girl leads me to the parlor. Oh, wait, are we back? We are. That was fast. Some of these are so fast, the choices. Wow. Anyways, what if we just follow her quietly? I'll be good and follow along. I may have vague memories of the mansion from 7 years ago, but I was just a child then. Probably not all that reliable. You know what I might do? Let's go to config. Scene text speed. Can we go even faster? Like near instant. I will definitely know, right? Also, yes, auto skip cleared scenes, please. We'll do that there. Take a deep breath and step into my old family home. And
いけません。私たら順番を間違えてました。
oh, she twirls around and gives a polite bow. Perhaps she senses how nervous I am.
お帰りなさい、四季様。どうぞ今日からよろしくお願いします。
Her greeting is accompanied by a radiant smile. I tail her timidly, unable to respond in any adequate way. Wow! That just immediately skipped ahead. Wow. I do want to show the confirmation message, because otherwise, that is too much. Okay, so, flowchart. Okay, so, yeah, let's do this day first. Okay, so, first off, we did stretch our legs. I think I'll wait here. I think I'll just wait here. I don't think walking around much would do much to calm me down. Regardless, speaking with Akia should be my first worry. She is the head of the family now, after all. I spend my time sitting on the sofa. The courtyard I can see from the window is exactly how I remember it. You could fit 4 tennis courts on it. Behind the courtyard, there should be a mammoth garden. Wow, you grow mammoths there? And past that, the forest. I remember... Oh boy. Oh, you appear regardless. I look back at the sudden voice and my breath catches in my throat. Standing at the door to the hallway connected to the lobby is a strange man, dressed head to toe in black.
こんにちは、四季君。遠野邸にようこそ。というのは間違いか。君の場合、お帰りというのが正しかった。
There's so much I'm curious about you. Will we learn more this game? I think we'll get a bit more with you in this route, but I'm not expecting much more. The man who, based on his voice, I assume is in his 30s, enters the parlor like he owns the place. There's not a trace of color on him. His entire body is wrapped in black bandages. I mean, he's wearing purple, but let's ignore that, I guess. He looks like he's stepped straight out of a mystery novel.
あなたは
覚えていないのか。ああ、そうか。私だよ。佐伯ゴートだ。
Goto Saiki.
君が子供の頃に何度か顔を合わせたことはあったが、このなりではね。覚えていても一致はしないだ。
Now, I guess my question is he talking about, like, does he know? Or, is he equating our Shiki with the other Shiki? Psyche? Was there a branch family with that name? More importantly, this man.
構わんよ。キーの視線には慣れている。私は事故で顔を焼いてしまってね。ずいぶん前からこうでもしないと出歩けない体になっている。
I gotta say, buddy,
日の光は特に厳しい。
in a game with vampires, that's a real bad thing to say.
秋葉にも煙たがられているが、 こればかりは仕方のないことだ。彼女にも責任の一端はあることだし。
That's also extremely curious. That's also extremely curious. Was it an Akiha-based accident? Did she use heat magic or something? What's going on? He needs to moisturize. Goto Saiki walks over to the cart, pours himself a cup of tea, and brings it to his mouth. There's an air of pompousness to his movements, but none of it comes across as out of place. The man possesses a natural composure. There's an elegance to everything he does.
しかしまあ、よくも帰ってこられたものだ。君のことだよ、四季君。牧久の言いつけを破って屋敷を抜け出した結果、くだらない事故に巻き込まれて脱落した。脱落。そう、脱落だ。君はご両親からの投資を投げ捨て、自らの義務を放棄した脱落者だ。にもかかわらず、こうして屋敷に戻り、
Does this guy just exist to rile us up?
そんな自分が恥ずかしいと思わないのかね。
I repress the urge to stand up, sinking further back into the sofa instead. The contempt in Goto's eyes is obvious, but there's no reason to escalate things further. Besides, he isn't wrong.
おや、反論はないのかな。
ないですよ。義務を放棄したのは事実ですから。でも脱落者とか投資とか家族の話にそんな言葉を使うあなたこそ。
家族の話だからこそ的確な言葉を選んだんだがね。養育は一族の将来への投資だ。市井の人間はともかく、選ばれた血筋、尊い家系において個人の自由は存在しない。
Also, knowing that he is a kid is something that we need to keep considering.
自由？いや、自意識と言ってもいいな。それらは成人した後、一族を背負えるようになって初めて獲得できる権利のはずだ。君は遠野の子でありながらそれを理解していなかった。秋葉とは似ても似つかぬ三流だ。まあ一度地に落ちていながら帰ってくる高顔さだけは一流と言えなくもないがね。そう睨むな、四季君。今のはただの
He's like, what?
客観論だよ。
Are your feelings being hurt by facts, buddy?
誤解させてしまったようだが、私は君の帰還に反対はしていない。どちらかというと賛成派だし、そもそも遠野家現当主の決定でもある。
And yet,
よそ者である私に
you literally are.
言えることでもないだろう。
How curious. An outsider? Yeah, that's also interesting. He isn't part of a branch family? So he's... okay. So they're not a branch family.
佐伯家は祖父の代から遠野家とは対等の付き合いをしている。
So they're...
現代風に言うと、
okay, right. I think we learned that, right. So she's... so that means Mio is not related to us. Okay.
今日は商談に来ただけでね。長引いてしまったが、色良い返事をもらえて上機嫌で帰るところだったのさ。ああ、この陰気な姿でせっかくの帰郷に水を差すのも忍びない。今日。
The bandaged man, Goto Saiki, leaves the parlor, his lips curled in a sarcastic smile. I bite my lip thinking of the word Saiki used. Failure. He's right. The word describes my place in this house perfectly. Dang. The girl returns exactly 10 minutes later.
四季様、何かお気に障ることでもありました？
Mummy man was mean to me. She must be able to tell that Goto Saiki's words have affected me.
いえ、なんでもないんです。ちょっと気をされているだけで。お茶、ありがとうございました。
お上手ですね。こちらこそお褒めいただきありがとうございます。
She smiles bashfully, brightening the room.
と、それより本題ですね。お待たせいたしました。明葉様のご用事がお済みになりましたので、執務室においでください。
We ascend the large staircase in the lobby to the second floor. Akia's office, the heart of the Tono family. I was never allowed to enter Makisa's office when I was a child. A room occupied by each generation's family head. And that room now belongs to my sister. Oh, yes. Yes. God bless. Yes. 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 All right, so let us try out doing something crazy. So we save there. So I want to try and get these alt scenes. So let's start by, let's see if Oogly Googling didn't get us the scene when we went to see her in the hallway, right? So let's instead go with let's kind of ignore her, right? So if we ignore her, then go to the hallway. Will this be new? It looks like it. The hallways are a mess of activity during lunch. Most people are heading to the cafeteria, but some are carrying lunchboxes, likely on their way to a friend's classroom, the courtyard, or the gym. My expectations go unmet. I'd hoped for a fateful encounter in the hallway, but it seems that wasn't meant to be. Wow. Huh. Half the time Arihiko asks me to do something with him, it's just trouble, and the other half it's pointless chatter. But at least it's never boring. It might be a good way to relax after school until I have to go back to the Tono estate. Okay, and then that's that, huh? Huh. So by not talking with her on the train, we skip that. But now what's going to happen when we go to the because now we did not promise her to stick around after school. So if we want her on school, I'll kill a little more time. There's no need to hurry. Nothing's going to change just because I was a couple minutes earlier. Will we, find anyone? Can you imagine if it's a super hard to get death scene? I walk around the school with no particular destination in mind. The buildings and schoolyard are almost completely devoid of students. It's nice not having to see anyone I know, but something feels wrong seeing a usually lively place so empty. A memory from middle school comes to mind as I look over the empty grounds. Oh! Oh, are we getting the Yumizuka flashback? Huh. It was a winter day, one that looked like snow might fall at any moment. I was crossing through the empty schoolyard on my way home. I heard a noise from a storehouse that any person would assume was empty, and I went to see what it was.
こんにちは。君2年生?
Who the frick are you? Why do you have a full sprite? Who are you?
申し訳ないのだけど、放課後になったら校庭には立ち入らないでもらえるかな。
Huh. The reproach comes from an older student I've never seen before. I seem to have wandered onto the grounds without realizing it.
すみません。ちょっと散歩のつもりでした。以後気をつけます。
Who are you? And why do I almost feel like you're Ciel in disguise? I apologize and start to leave the grounds.
あなたは帰らないんですか?
いえ、もう帰ります。ご心配ありがとうございます。
I give a quick bow to the student and leave the schoolyard. It's so weird to just have a random student have a sprite. That's probably the push I needed. Stay any longer and I'll just be trespassing. I return to the classroom and grab my bag. It's time to go back to my real home. Huh. What a strange thing. What a really strange thing. Yes? Oh, this is the skip button, right? Let's just say no here. Okay. So that means wander on school. So, okay. We didn't even get to have our full Satsuki memory. So now let's go back. Let's ogle her and see if that will then trigger what I think. Right? If we ogle, then maybe we'll continue ogling in the room. Let's see. Yes. Okay, we're gonna ogle. We be a freak. Freaky Tono confirmed. Let's go out to the hallway to double check that she's there. We get her. Yes. We're going to wander the school. Yes.
どうしたんですか、先輩。
This is different now.
ああ、
Okay, here we go.
なんだか遠野くんの方が落ち着いてる
Why
な
is this
って
different? What's gonna happen?
ちょっと驚いてました。
Are we there? Did we get the other one? We did. Okay.
うちはもともと厳しい家だったから、こういうのに慣れているだけですよ。それより先輩、話したかったって言ってましたけど。
おっと、そうでした。実はお昼に聞いたお話がどうしても気になって。
昼の話って、その、俺の実家のこと？
Ciel nods.
遠野くんが嫌じゃなければですけど。
Oh, this is different.
ほら、この時期に住まいを移すなんて何か良くないトラブルでもあったのかなって。
うちの家の話なんて聞いたってつまらないですよ。それこそ時間の無駄だと思うけど。
つまらなくてもいいですよ。私が聞きたいだけなんですから。
はあ、物好きですね、先輩は。
Perhaps so. She smiles.
それじゃあ話の続きをしましょう。自分の家に戻ると言っていましたけど、今までご実家には戻られていなかったんですか？
はい。いろいろあって。
I feel like this is the best one for us too, so it's a good thing we got this.
療養生活
Because it is us giving her all of our
10
info.
歳の頃に事故に遭ったんですけど、それからは慢性的な貧血持ちになっちゃって。で、遠野の家は何かと騒がしいので、落ち着ける親戚の家に預けられていて、それが昨日までの話です。
ああ、それは大変でしたね。その傷の方はまだ。
そっちはバッチリ治っています。後遺症は貧血だけで
Oh,
すけ
and
ど。
the massive scar on your chest that is super visible in everything but the H scenes.
別に気にしていません。
そうだったんですか。辛いお話をさせてごめんなさい。つまりその親戚の方々が10歳からの育ての親ということになるんですね。
そうですよ。有馬という家の人たちで、俺にはもったいないぐらい。
I find myself expressing far more gratitude than I really intended. I was fortunate to have been able to live with the Arimas for 7 years.
過去形なんですね。いずれご実家に戻ることが分かっていたから、有馬家の人たちはあなたを家族として接していなかった。
いや、そういうわけじゃなくて、遠野家から呼び戻しが来るなんて全く思ってなかったし。俺も恵子さんたちもずっと一緒に暮らすと思っていました。
That's really sad, actually.
呼び戻しがないと分かっていたんですか？遠野くんは遠野家の長男なのに？
はい。本当のことを言ってしまうと、療養生活というのは建前なんです。
Wow, we're really letting her know all our backstory.
犬猿の中というやつでして。
それはあなたの勘違いではなく。
うん、そうですね。 勘違いならそれに越したことはありません。
I try my best to answer Ciel's question honestly. I feel myself smiling ever so slightly. Her concern is heartwarming. The idea that all of this might have just been one big mix-up. Boy, you don't know how big this mix-up is.
それを確認することはもうできません。ついこの間、当の本人が奇跡に入りましたから。親父はぽっくり言っちまって、7年間の行き違いはこれでおしまい。
Well, I know better than anyone. That's a big if.
お父さん亡くなられたんですね。それであなたは実家に戻ることになった。
はい。新しい当主からとっとと帰ってこいと矢の催促で。おっかないんで今日から戻ることになりました。
I wrap up the story quickly. Something seems to be on Ciel's mind. She takes a short breath and returns her gaze to me.
一つ聞いていいですか？
Her serious tone has me instinctively straightening my back.
どうぞ。俺に答えられる範囲でなら。
そうですか。では遠慮なく。あなたは先ほど有馬の家の人たちを過去形で話しました。あなた本人ももう切り離して考えている。遠野くんはそれぐらい
Wow,
前のご家族が嫌いだったんですか？
your forehead is big. Sorry. Which means Keiko and Fumiomi, the people who raised me for the past 7 years. We're just gonna ignore Miyako? Okay. A father and mother who were not my real parents. A home that was not my own. But in spite of that,
いえ、大好きでした。血がつながってないことなんて気にも留めない人たちで、俺が一人で落ち込んでいるのが申し訳なくなるぐらい、そういった疑いようのない愛情を信じられる自分もまんざらじゃないんだなって思いました。
that's really sad, bro. That's really sad. It felt like he was just warming up and being like, maybe one day we'll all be a happy family, and just to be pulled back and be like, I guess we'll never reach that point. Yes, these people love me. As quickly as I can, I need to become a real member of their family. I've told myself that constantly ever since I was young. I'm not even sure when I started, but I must have repeated those words to myself over and over until I was blue in the face.
でもダメだったんですね。
はい。熱しやすく冷めやすい性格って言いますけど、きっと自分はそうなんです。
What does that even mean? No matter how much love they gave me or how happy I felt, the next day it would feel like it all had happened to someone else. Oh. Those feelings never lasted. They never felt like mine, no matter how much I wanted them to. That's why, at the very least, I try my best every day not to forget the fact that they cared about me.
家族に関してはそれが顕著なんです。父親母親が向けてくれる愛情より強い愛情を返せない。なんで
I couldn't shake the idea that, as long as I stayed like that, I'd never truly be part of their family. Maybe it's childhood trauma. Wherever I go, my family always feels like strangers. Ciel is silent. She averts her eyes and shrugs her shoulders apologetically.
ほら、つまらない話だった。
That was a deeply hidden scene that was deeply important,
す
you
みま
know?
せん先輩。時間を無駄にしちゃって。
いえ、そんなことないです。すごく有意義なお話でした。
Ciel forces a smile in an effort to lighten the mood.
でもちょっと意外でしたね。私、遠野くんってのんびりしている子だなって思って
Oh
ましたから。
no, the depths go deep.
基本的に俺はのんびりしてますよ。できるだけ今を楽しむってのを座右の銘にしましたから。終わってしまうことより先のことを楽しみにしていた方がハッピーでしょ。
Ciel doesn't need to know what Ciel doesn't need to know I stole that from Arcueid.
先のことを楽しみにですか。 いいですね、そういうの。私も全力で応援したくなっちゃいました。しかし、できるだけエンジョイする。それじゃあ差し当たって明日から一緒に投稿とかしちゃいます？
Okay, well, this is a very good thing to continue. Her sudden suggestion catches me off guard and probably makes me notice how long I've been going on about myself. I'm usually not like that.
いや、そういう意味ではなくて、楽しむってのはあくまで希望的観測に過ぎないというか、先輩を口説くならもっと事前に段階を踏むというかですね。
はい、もちろん冗談です。遠野くんが紳士であることは私も分かっていますから。
Part of me feels a little disappointed to hear that, but I'm glad to have avoided any misunderstanding. I collect myself and bring the teacup to my mouth. After talking for so long, the tea has grown cold. Much like my real tea. How much is left? There's like a shot left. Ice cold. We kept talking for about an hour after that. It was fun, and Ciel was attentive the whole time. Still, it's not something I'm used to. Suddenly feel very tired. Okay, so yeah, this it's the same. Yeah, this is all the same now. Make my way home. All right. Well, let's jump to the save point then. Right? We'll use any differences. No. Next. We'll explore the mansion and okay, so skip. Stretch, see if there's anything new. Skip. And skip. And skip. And save. Alright. That's where we will end it then for now. Day 1. Done with all the alternate scenes there. We did have to search for that last one, but I think we found the best one for her. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, as we continue on with the Ciel route. And we're going to really start getting into some more like continuous storytelling pretty soon here. It's just we got to get through all this sort of fragmented early route stuff before we can hardline back to her. So I'll see you guys next time for some more. Ciao.
Yo.